Miss Amber Vilhauer, one of my favorite people in the world.
You're one of my favorite people in the world.
Imagine that. Hey, thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. When you took the assessment and you came back as curiosity, I just knew it because you are a forward thinker, a visionary in your own right. And I believe there's a song we created for you. So thank you
This
and
whole
welcome.
process, yeah, sorry to cut you off. This whole process has been so deeply fulfilling, Paula. Just getting to know you, seeing your thought leadership shine through, really digging into your framework and methodology. It's different than anything that I've ever observed in the marketplace. And it's really profound. And when I got the opportunity to go through the assessment with you and the debrief call afterward, it changed my life. I mean, really getting to understand myself, my leadership traits a little bit better, and how I can use that unique ability to be stronger for my organization and personally with my family. I mean, it was really profound. And I just appreciate the impact that you've had on my life. And thank you for the song that I get to be a part of as well. It was very touching.
You are so welcome. I look at curiosity, and the traits that we put with that are open and reflective, self-improvement, tempo, experimenting, analytical and research and learning. Those are so you. And those are the essential traits and the desired traits.
Well, that's what was really fun about going through the assessment is you have this day-to-day experience and you think it's no big deal, but being able to really define it helps me to better understand how to leverage that trait and to accomplish more and have a greater impact. So it's been great.
That's great. So, I told you curiosity, really, we define it as the side A trait of visionary and forward thinker. But yet the side B trait is curiosity because you're always asking questions. Tell me how that impacts your business when you continue to ask questions.
Well, I think that asking the right questions is really at the heart of innovation. And it's at the heart of creating a strong culture. And that is at that impacts our retention and our productivity, right? So I think being curious is a really important part of relationship building, of connection. It's my personal belief that if I can create connection with my team, creating connection with my clients, then everybody gets to win. There's just a more cohesive flow and harmony that happens. There's innovation that happens, and the company is really better because of it.
That's great. That's exactly what, innovation is, and forward thinking and a visionary. So another question I have for you is, how do you impact yourself in asking questions on a daily basis? Do you sit back and reflect? Do you write yourself journals? Do you ask yourself questions daily?
I am a deeply introspective person for sure. I don't have a formal practice to it though, Paula. I'm not big on journaling. I don't regularly meditate. I sort of meditate while I'm in action doing certain things, like when I'm driving to pick up my son at school. Sometimes when I'm just responding to emails, there's a meditative sort of quality to that. I am always in thought. I'm always asking myself questions, revisiting situations to see, did I handle that the best that I could have handled?
Yeah.
Am I really being the person that I'm most proud to be every day? Really studying the impact that I'm having on the people around me, the conversations that I'm having, and just really curious about how people are responding to me so I can learn from that and do better the next day.
The drummer, they're sitting in the back of the stage, watching the fans, watching everyone in front of them, and they feed off of that energy, right? And that is what's so important about this legacy, is that not only are you feeding forward, but you're feeding off your people. When you have your first meeting with a client or a prospective client, I know you ask a lot of questions, but what is it that you're really diving into?
I think the more I can just ask a simple question of, so what inspires you to do the work that you're doing, is an example of a question that I might ask. When somebody talks about what inspires them to do the work that they're doing in the world, even if you're a lower level manager or you're a VP or you're an entrepreneur or an employee, it doesn't really matter, but like what inspires you? What you'll observe about the person in front of you is that they will drastically open up and they will start lighting up.
Yeah.
And then they start using keywords that relate to their own personal core values. And my definition of connection is the exchange of a shared value. So if you and I are having a value, a personal core value in common, Paula, that is going to create this connection. And that connection builds the relationship. And then all of a sudden, we're having this incredible experience together, and we get to feed off of that energy at the same time.
Right.
So it's making you more fulfilled and happier. It's making me more fulfilled and happier. And that bond is what really can help with anything, in a client relationship, with a spouse, with your child, with a team member. So these are being that curious person and finding out what lights somebody else up is a really easy thing to implement. And it can really drastically change your whole world just by nature of asking it.
And you do a lot of experimentation. You experiment a lot, which is another, essential trait of curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely, Paula. I don't know if I'm ever in a state of rest, to be honest. I don't accept anything as status quo. I'm always looking to innovate and improve. Part of, I think, my personality and the trait of being a drummer is wanting to challenge myself. I want to know what my potential is, and I want to help those around me. So if I'm experimenting in conversation, I'm experimenting with the delivery of our services, I'm experimenting with leadership with my team, and you're really aware of how people respond to those experiments, right? So I can tell when somebody's really engaged and excited, or when they're withdrawn or looking confused. And I take those little cues to further experiment and refine my process. And over time, you're getting better and better at connection, communication, leadership. You're more profitable in your business. You're extracting more value out of your team and then giving it right back to them, so they're feeling more fulfilled and valued. And it just can create more harmony in life overall.
Isn't that great? Thank you. I've got one last question for you. Actually, it's a huge favor. First of all, Amber Vilhauer with No Guts, No Glory, Leverage to Scale. What else are you involved in now?
Website design, bestseller,
website design,
launches.
book
We actually
launches.
Partner with clients to help them scale their brand and their message and their impact. So it's a really great little business.
I just love it. I love it. So here's my last question. What is your favorite song and how does it motivate you?
It's an impossible question for a music junkie like myself. So I definitely listen to a range of styles of music, and it really just depends on what my mood is at the time, Paula. So sometimes I'm listening to an absolute hard rock song. Sometimes I'm listening to piano. In fact, I probably frequent piano the most. Sometimes I'm listening to country or indie or hip hop or alternative, you name it, I listen to it. And really, the way that I utilize music is to help me go deeper into an emotion that wants to express itself. Because our emotions are a signal for what we can do to get better in our lives, right? So if I'm feeling sad, I might listen to a sad song to really amplify that feeling of sadness. That gives me more to work with and tune into to really understand, well, what is behind that sadness? Oh, it's when somebody said something to me yesterday that didn't make me feel seen or valued, and it made me feel small. So now I'm feeling sadness. So I really use music as a tool to amplify that emotion so I can understand, what I'm working with in my environment. Then I can move toward resolution more quickly. I can go back to that person. I can let them know that, hey, what you said yesterday just didn't sit well with me. I'm sure it was a misunderstanding, but let's use this as an opportunity to learn more about each other, and communicate more effectively in the future, as an example. Or if I'm feeling energetic, I'll listen to an energetic song, amplify that, and then really look at, where is this energy coming from? How can I use this to make a bigger impact or be more present with my family or have more fun? So I can't even tell you that I have one song that's a go-to, Paula. It's more about, what do I need to listen to in the moment so that I can be better and more for the people around me.
So that is awesome. And music does that. It helps us provide clarity and focus and all of those fabulous things that music can give us. And why not? Why not use that as a leadership hack, right?
Yeah, I completely agree. That's why I love the work that you're doing. I think it's very smart. I don't know what else to say, Paula, about that one.
That's okay. That's good. You're absolutely perfect.